Yo, for the past 6 months I've been here in the beautiful island of Bali, the island of the gods. I left London over a year ago now, and I've been going on amazing adventures from Tenerife to Toronto, New York, Switzerland, Mauritius, Istanbul, Nepal, India, Kuala Lumpur, and finally here in Bali. While the world has been going nuts, I've been taking my time to zoom out, learn, reflect, growing, create, collaborate, creating something new. And right now things are getting super exciting. This is season 3. So this is the LV8 hotel where I have been for the past 2 months. Let's go and take a little look inside. Oh, look who I've just seen! Who's this cheeky little chappy? I see something in the background there. So, Gail has been here as well.
Nice cap.
Nice cap. Boom. This is so cool, like we bump into each other randomly in the hallways.
Well, I'll tell you how fun that was, like a man with a cap and with like a bit of hair coming. I said, that must be Shazz.
And lo and behold it was, or it is. All right, give us a wave, mate, give us a wave. Woo! I haven't been filming my workouts, but this is where they have been happening for the past 2 months. Well, I realise it's been a really long time since I released any clips on YouTube, and it felt like just about the right time, you know? A lot has been happening, in particular over the past year. So just going back to July 2019, I handed over the reins of my real estate portfolio to another operating company, leaving me completely hands-free, stepping back into more of a chairman position and no commitments to remain in London. So I thought after sort of 15 plus years of being based predominantly in London, even though I've been traveling around, you know, every year, it was time to change and switch things up a little bit. So I left London July 2019 and I've been traveling around the world ever since. I started off actually by doing a really amazing Tony Robbins event in Tenerife in August last year, which was Life and Wealth Mastery. And what an amazing way to kind of kick off a new stretch of changing around my lifestyle, I guess. Kind of re-looking at life and success and wealth and the definitions of all of the above. It was really amazing. One of my buddies, he's a movie producer, and I've been involved in a couple of his movies as an executive producer. So he was at Toronto Film Festival. He invited me to join him out there in roughly November last year. So from Tenerife, I went out to Toronto for a week or so, and then obviously being so close to New York, I popped down into New York for a good few weeks, hung out with a good few buddies over there, caught up with some friends, some investors, and then shot back across to the UK. I think after such a long time of really being heads down in business and whatnot, I wanted to spend some real quality time with my family and my parents in particular. And I hadn't been back to Mauritius for quite a long time, so I organised a trip. And I took my mum, just the two of us, went to Mauritius for just about a month. We stopped into Istanbul on the way for a week and then on to Mauritius. And it was the first time back there in 6 years, right? So I was catching up with all my family, stayed with the mum's family, stayed with my parents, with my dad's family as well, caught up with all my cousins, spent some time by the beach, exploring, reconnecting with everyone. And it was really, really nice to kind of catch up with all the family and spend some amazing quality time with my mum after such a long time of not really having created the opportunity to do that. So got back to the UK in, I think it was November, and then I popped out to Switzerland for a week or so to spend some time with my brother, my sister-in-law and my niece out there, which was really nice to spend like a good week with them. Got back, and then I had also been invited by a group of entrepreneurs who I met at the Tony Robbins event to join a charity project in Nepal to build a school for one of the kind of communities out there who would really benefit from having the school built from them, and we funded it as well. It was led by another entrepreneur, and I joined forces with them. And that was really amazing. So literally a few days after getting back from Switzerland, I was on the plane again out to Nepal to join this charity project, and that was a good 10 days. We started in Kathmandu and then went out to the remote village and spent a good 10 days or so in total working with the community to break ground on a new school. It's like a 3 or 4 month project, but we really worked with the charity organisation to allow the community to create that school as their own, and we were there basically just helping them get started. So that was absolutely amazing. Now, kind of on the theme of like spending more time with my family and reconnecting with them, I spent some time with my mum. I wanted to really kind of spend some time with my dad as well and do something special there. And it's been like this dream of his, and a kind of a family thing. I've wanted to do it as well for many years, to kind of explore the heritage and the roots of our family. So prior to Mauritius, obviously our heritage is from India 4 or 5 generations back. And I had never been to India, neither had my parents. So I got the information from the immigration archives in Mauritius, and then managed to find a team on the ground in India to research and locate the original village. Now these are just guys who I found on Airbnb, like Airbnb hosts, not hosts, like Airbnb experiencers, the guys who run them. And these are local tour guides in that part of India. It's in the northern part of Bihar, India, Patna being the main city over there, and Varanasi is roughly in that area as well. So these were tour guides actually based in Varanasi, but the roughly on the map, that's approximately in the region where the original village was from. So these guys explored 19 different villages around the area which broadly fitted the description from the immigration papers, and eventually they managed to locate the village. They visited it, they sent us images, videos, we started talking and kind of verified as best as we could that this was the right place. And then I arranged a whole trip, like almost like a homecoming, retracing the steps that the original immigrant from Mauritius in 1860s left and traveled on that train line through Patna, and then came to Mauritius. So we arrived in Patna and retraced the steps on the same train line he would have taken all the way back to the original village, and it was just absolutely amazing, fulfilling like a dad's dream and a personal dream as well, and it was really, really amazing. So after Nepal, I met my parents in Delhi. We did that trip that I just described, and then we spent another 3 weeks or so backpacking and traveling around India, covering all the different areas: Delhi, Mumbai, the Golden Triangle, and Goa, and a few other places, and it was just absolutely amazing. So that finished up in like the middle of January. The plan was head back to the UK, and I'd already had on the agenda to come to Bali from like March onwards. Didn't really see the point in coming back to the UK for like a month or so, so I rerouted my ticket and they could send me to Kuala Lumpur. So my parents came back to the UK, I came to Kuala Lumpur, and I stayed there for about 6 weeks. I occupied myself by creating a music album. So I've always played piano for quite a long time now, and I really wanted to kind of put my head down and dedicate myself into like a little project. And so I was literally walking in a shopping mall, came up the escalators, and there was a Yamaha music school and music instrument shop there. So I wandered in, had a little chat. Before you know it, I said to them, I've been toying with this idea of recording an album. Hadn't composed anything. Obviously I can play the bits that I can play, but I hadn't composed anything for the album prior to this. And I said, right, I want to do it. In that moment I was like, I want to do it. In 4 weeks, let's just get it done. Find me a teacher. Can you find me a teacher who can work with me to help me along the way? Because I've never composed anything before. So they said, okay, long shot, but we managed to find someone. They introduced me to the head office in Yamaha. I went down there, saw the showroom. They had this massive showroom with like 10 or so amazing Yamaha grand pianos, and Yamaha also own Bosendorfer that had a really amazing Bosendorfer concert grand as well, and that thing was just absolutely beautiful when I played it. They let me have the little concert room to play and practice, and then they introduced me to this guy called Ray Mack, who's Malaysia's first YouTuber, and he does piano stuff. So he plays like, you know, modern pop music but on the piano, and then we started hanging out, and he hooked up with Yamaha Malaysia to give me the entire showroom of grand pianos for a whole morning. We brought down a recording, mobile recording studio, and that's where I recorded the album on this amazing Bosendorfer grand. And the whole thing was just effortless. I didn't have to work hard for it all, and over this 4-week period I did nothing but work on my composition from home on a piano which someone else sourced for me, and then when it came to the day I was playing on this amazing grand piano, and it was just absolutely phenomenal. We went straight to the post-production studio afterwards, made a few tweaks and edits, done final cut all in one day, and then Ray helped me get it released online. So my album is now on all of the, you know, all the usual music places, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, and all the rest of them. It's also on YouTube, of course. Check it out. If you go to the channel homepage, you'll find it. I'll put a link below as well. You know, it was really cool, just like a nice snapshot of where I currently was with the piano at that time. So really amazing. Finished that up, got on a plane out to Bali, and the plan was stay here for a few months, and then whilst I was here, obviously explore Bali. It's the first time I'm here, and start creating and working on what I want to create for my next business, the next level of impact that I want to create for you know, for humanity and the way we live. Lo and behold, the virus hit. It didn't get in the way of my work, but I didn't do too much exploring of Bali as well. Certainly during the early stages, I was more getting my head down. There was a lot of uncertainty around, you know, can you really go out and explore? A lot of the tourist sites were shut. So it turns out though to be just an amazing place to have been. I mean, I'm so grateful that the place that I've ended up being, you know, on lockdown is basically this. Like, this has been, you know, I've been here for several months. You know, I can just come out here, hang out by the pool. The beaches were closed for only a few weeks, but even then you could sort of go out and just enjoy the beautiful beaches, walk around, and like, of all the places in the world to be kind of, you know, on lockdown, so grateful. And I know the whole expat community over here, you know, kind of share that sentiment just from talking to people. So it's been a really amazing place to be during this whole period whilst the world's been going crazy, you know, and I totally appreciate that it's been difficult for many people in many different ways. That said, for the past few months, I've literally just been working on my next companies that I'm creating, which are all around creating communities, impact, very deep purpose-led communities that are built around personal growth, social impact, and entrepreneurship. But what's really different about it is that it's not about bringing together people who are interested in these things. It's about these three things: maximizing our individual human potential, owning the fact that we are humans and we are living on this planet. We have a responsibility to humanity, we have a responsibility to protect our planet, and engaging in entrepreneurship as a means of creating a profitable way of impacting positively the world. Like, these are three core pillars, and they are at the center of what we do, and we start there and we build a community around it. So that's called Voyage, and it's in the early stages, but there are some really interesting things happening. Feel free to check out the website, links are below. And if you are interested in finding out more, or perhaps feel you want to get involved as a founding citizen of that project, feel free to reach out. So enough about that. After all of these months, it was finally time to start exploring. I could not sit down and just like hang out in certain areas of Bali any longer. I was just absolutely dying to start exploring, and of course, if I'm exploring all of these sites and having adventures and being in nature, I had to crack out the video equipment. And so pulled out the camera, pulled out the drone, pulled out the time lapses, pulled out absolutely everything, and started capturing all of the adventures. So bit by bit, I'm checking out the main sites around Bali and some of the surrounding areas. And every time I go out to check out one of these cool sites, I'm taking you guys with me, I'm taking the cameras with me, and I'm doing my best to capture, you know, some sequences and some videos which just kind of take a small step at capturing the beauty of this place, Bali, the island of the gods. So yeah, it's good. That's what this season's about, basically. Season 3 of my journey is all about the sights and sounds of Bali. So I appreciate that. It's been quite a long clip to listen to. I'll finish up this episode with a few little snippets of me kind of out and about around Canggu, and then next episode onwards we'll crack on with the sights and sounds of Bali. So I hope you enjoy. If you're enjoying the videos that I'm posting in this season, like, comment, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and of course if you're interested in Voyage, check out the links below. I see what the stores over here remind me of how the stores used to be in the UK years ago, just like all neat and organised. Look how neat it all is. There we go. It's funny that I'm filming. Already done. Let's crack on. Right, so just heading out now. I am off to the tattoo shop. Let's go.